there what you're drinking. 2 shots, let's pour it out. I know what you're thinking, but tomorrow won't come for us. This life that we're living, ain't never gonna give it up. Double shot for the gifted, and one more for us. There you go, drink it up. All this love in a cup. Yeah, we go slow, we go fast. Yeah, we can't get enough. We stay all day, all night, living in paradise. Remember, you don't get it twice. The time of your life.
Yo guys, hello and welcome back to the penultimate round of the Minardi My Team career mode here at Qatar. Penultimate round of season 1 here. So if you did miss the last episode out in Las Vegas, go and check that out before this one. But yeah, coming across the line in our first qualifying lap here, and it's only P21. We're not looking too good around here, unfortunately. Very close in the championship with Williams, so the last 2 races are very crucial for ourselves and the team for next season. But coming across the line for our second run, P22, we've had a shocking qualifying session here out in Qatar. So we are on the back foot instantly as Valtteri Bottas puts in an absolutely stonking lap to go top of Q1. But unfortunately, both Minardi boys out, so going to be a very difficult ask in the Qatar Grand Prix. But
it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Sainz, George Russell and Norris, Albon, Hadjar, Gasly and Franco Colapinto, Behrman, Piastri, Liam Lawson and Stroll, Bottas, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Gabriel Bortoleto, Soloff, Alonso, Mini, Lindblad, Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. And alongside me today...
So for the final time we control Gabriele Mini this season, we're going to be at the back of the grid again for the Qatar Grand Prix, and yeah, going to be a very difficult one to overtake here. Not that got that much experience around this track, so going to start on the mediums, go to the hards, and hopefully we can get some overtakes done. But we have 5 red lights here, and it's lights out and away we go directly behind Nicolas Solov, our teammate. We're instantly going to pull to the left, get past him. Decent start here from the Minardi man, going around the outside in turn 1 of Lewis Hamilton, who's actually had a pretty poor qualifying session himself. It's going to turn to the inside for us, fortunately, and we're going to get past the Ferrari man early doors here. Lovely stuff. Bottas, Stroll up next side by side. Can we make a few more moves on the opening lap of this Grand Prix? Going very defensive into that double right-hander as we look to potentially go around the outside in the one proper braking zone on this track. But fortunately for Hamilton, we're going to get boxed in, and yeah, Solov actually managing to get past the 7-time world champion as well with a little bit of help from ourselves, boxing in the Ferrari man. But P16 off the line, not too bad. Let's see if we can make up a few more positions on the opening laps. A few people on the soft compounder tyres, so we'll see how that goes for them, as I don't actually know what the tyre wear is going to be saying around here. I know previous games it has been quite high, but yeah, not sprint weekend this weekend either, unfortunately for ourselves, because yeah, do not like this track being a sprint race, so that is good. But end of the first lap, we are P16. Skipping on 2 laps later, start lap 3, and we're in the slipstream of Valtteri Bottas. He defends to the inside. We're going to have a little look around the outside, going a little bit deep though, way offline, and that is not the way to get past the Cadillac. So we're going to have to wait and see if we can pick up another opportunity. Trying to be careful on the battery as to not burn it all in one place, but we actually tapped the rear end of Valtteri Bottas there as he's going a little bit slower than we expected, so we're going We're going to have a launch down the inside and we make the move stick. Lovely stuff. Into P15. Unfortunately for us, no damage, so brilliant stuff. Lap 5 now, and we are on the back of Lance Stroll. There's a little gaggle of cars up ahead, maybe some potential damage, and we're going to make the most of that. We're going to go up the inside of Lance Stroll, get past the Aston man, and up into P14. Liam Lawson up next. We're going to try and get him. So we're going to launch it down the inside. We outbrake ourselves though. Unfortunately, get pushed a little bit off track, but it's our own fault. We have to let Lawson go back through. Yeah, a little bit rash on the brakes there, not ideal. Both of the Williams are in the top 10 at the moment though, so that is really bad for the championship. So we need to get past these cars as soon as possible if you want any chance of getting some points today. But around the outside into the final corner on Liam Lawson, give him a little bit of a squeeze to the inside, but we get the job done this time, thankfully. And it's going to be P13 at the start of lap 6. Lawson's going to have a little look back though. Weird burning the battery down into turn 1. Colapinto having a look on his teammate, and Lawson goes back up the inside. Gives us a little bit of a tap, but we hold the position for now. So lovely stuff there. Going to get straight on the overtake though, and we're going to try and get Colapinto as he's a little low on the battery. We're going to go round the outside, drifting a little bit wide. Did lift off, and we go a little bit wide again as the understeer around here is really bad for some reason. But up into P12. Pierre Gasly next. We get on the battery and we're going to actually overtake him in a very unorthodox place before the triple right-hander towards the end of the lap. And a little bit of a distance to Ollie Behrman now. We're pushing to try and get into the overtake. But unfortunately we're just outside, so we have to burn the rest of this battery and try and get back in there. Unfortunately, at the end of lap 9 we do manage to catch up to Ollie as Leclerc actually pits ahead as he starts on the softs, but saved a little bit of battery the last lap, and we're going to go round the outside of the Haas man into turn 1. He sticks his nose up the inside, but we just have managed to clear him. So yeah, not too bad there. Up into the points finally. As you can see, Albon is up in P7, so yeah, Sainz is a bit higher as well, so he's going to be collecting some good points at the moment, which is not good for our championship as some of the guys ahead are starting to box. We're completely out of battery at the start of lap 12 as Ollie Behrman is going to make a move into turn 1, and we're not going to fight him too much. We try and hold it around the outside, but it's just no point in fighting that. We have absolutely no battery. It's better we just stick behind and try and save some of it. So that is what we're going to do. End of the next lap now, and we've been pushing, but Ollie Behrman is looking like he is on his in lap. So we are going to follow him in here and hopefully stick with him, get the overtake. And yeah, looking for a good stop now from the boys, going on to the hards towards the end of the Grand Prix. Decent 2.5 second stop, and we actually managed to jump Behrman in the pits. So that is amazing stuff from us. Coming out of the pit lane though, obviously we have the overtake mode from last lap, and now we have Lewis Hamilton ahead of us. But yeah, next stage of the race, little bit boring, not gonna lie, not much happened. We're constantly just pulling a gap on Behrman. We've got him well out of range, and Charles Leclerc is now overtaking him. Not quite got the pace to stay with Hamilton or Hadjar. They're just too quick. We're unable to stay with them. And now coming on to the end of lap 27, Leclerc has catched us at 9 seconds behind when he overtook Ollie Behrman, and he's going to have a little look down into turn 1. We're going to give him the squeeze towards the pit wall. Hopefully we can hold on to this final championship point, but holding it around the outside, a little bit of contact there with Leclerc, and it's going to give him the final championship point at this moment in time. Only one lap left though. Can we stick with the Ferrari man? Will there be a chance to get that point back, a crucial point potentially in the championship? But tyres are really suffering right now. We're struggling to keep it on the track. So got a nice gap behind us. Unfortunately, it is looking unlikely that we are going to get any points, and that is a reality, unfortunately. Max Verstappen wins the Qatar Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc sets the fast lap on the final lap, and we're going to come across the line. No points in P11.
Pick up rubber and bring it home.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
Well, it all came good in the end for them, but it wasn't an easy start. Not the most straightforward of days, but I think it shows great strength in an athlete as a driver when you can overcome a day like this and walk away still with a victory.
And that brings an end to a pretty boring Qatar Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz picks up P2 for Williams, and Albon also gets into P6, so a good amount of points for Williams there. And yeah, no points for us this weekend, and that is going to leave a 25-point gap between ourselves and Williams in the championship. So in Abu Dhabi, we need Williams to not score any points. We need to get a win and maybe even pick up another point with our other teammate, which is very unlikely, but you never know. But after the race, we find out that there is a regulation change for next season in the chassis and the powertrain. So there's a lot of upgrades that we're going to have to try and save for next season. And also, Max Verstappen is retiring at the end of the season. Very annoying, not going to lie. That is going to throw up a massive change for the drivers next season. But apologies for the short episode this time around, guys, but there really wasn't much happening. So yeah, hopefully Abu Dhabi can change that. But thank you all guys so much for joining me. Have a good evening and cheers.